What's going on, everybody? It's Crypto Vision here, back again with another live stream. It's not Monday, it is Wednesday. I'm changing up the schedule. A lot of people they get in on Mondays. They're asking and they're begging for things throughout the week. So this is a nice little recap week. Get the middle of it. I hope you enjoy this new setup that I got. If you don't, leave a comment, let me know. If you do, leave a comment, let me know. As always, I do appreciate your time. I appreciate you stopping by. We're going to get into individual coins, individual assets, and stocks per your request. As always, we'll do a light macro overview, maybe get into some key levels that are coming up right now. But for the more in-depth analysis, those will be Tuesdays and Thursdays, and of course on Fridays when I go into in-depth of all the Patreon member requests. So if you're looking for the roadmap that you kind of need to get to before you get to your all-time targets, before you get to some targets that you've probably heard here or there from other YouTubers. We're going to map those out here. As always, I thank you for your time. I thank you for stopping by. Without further ado, we're going to get into we're going to get into some Bitcoin dominance first. I mean, Bitcoin is going crazy. It's going up of all my levels so far. Patreon members knew what we were expecting, and so we're getting that. But Bitcoin dominance, without hesitation, has flipped the script on what many have deemed I would say the bane of our existence is not Bitcoin dominance. Right? Bane of our existence is stablecoin dominance. We'll get into some stablecoin dominance for sure, pending the live requests, things like that. But overall, we're looking at Bitcoin dominance. The big thing I really wanted to check out is the Russell. Right, the Russell was doing it was kind of leaky. We came down, we closed down below this 2633 level. Right, so the Russell, if you guys don't know, the Russell is it's the pretty much your S&P that has lower credit rating, the lower market caps, the higher risk, higher reward plays. It's pretty much the degen gamblers of the stock market, right? So it's pretty much all of crypto, unless you're investing just in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm a degen gambler. I mean, at this point, I think we gotta joke about ourselves being in crypto and just the willingness to put up with all the BS. But right now we got the Russell. It is looking like it wants to close back above 2633. Came down here, bounced off that 20-week EMA. It is pretty overextended. I wouldn't actually. It would kind of probably be bad for markets, but I wouldn't mind it coming down a little bit. Clearing out, just clearing out a lot of probably junk leverage. I mean, it's one or the other. Don't go sideways. Don't go sideways for a long period of time. Please don't do that. I'm tired of crab markets. I'm tired of, markets going sideways. Markets not really deciding whether or not to, it's the whole thing where markets they just haven't wanted to make a decision. We all the war in the Middle East is going on. It is raging right now, but the current administration is giving it a 2 to 4 week time span. Who knows if that's true? Maybe that's smoke and mirrors. And overall, right, we're looking for, and bad news like this, and with price kind of going sideways and slightly up, that's good. I do think that we do need some structure. We do need a base on some things, but overall, it's looking good. So we're gonna check out some Bitcoin too, and we're gonna see whether or not it is something that is kind of another bull trap, and if not, then what are we doing? So. Let's go ahead and check it out. Like I said, if you like today's video, hit that like button. Drop a comment, of anything you want covered. We'll check out some Bitcoin. Okay, we'll check out some Bitcoin, and we'll leave. Right, we gotta get rid of some of this stuff because it's a lot. Right, it's a lot. Okay, so we are gonna actually go into the daily chart. We're gonna go into the daily chart, and I kind of found something that was interesting to me. Okay, so. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see something like this. We're gonna go apples to apples. Okay, we're gonna go apples to apples. We don't want to see something like this. We already don't have it. Okay, especially if we break out here, that would be very nice. But you see how I'm gonna put this right above here. Maybe I'll put it lower. Okay, you came down, right? Bitcoin slammed down, you slammed down, okay? And what'd you do? You grind it up, grind it up, grind it up. We had one impulse up, okay? And you came back down. We kind of came back down. We made a lower high. What did we do here? We made a higher high. Then we came back down. What did we do? We made a lower high. What did we do here? We made a higher high. So 3 drives to the high. If you haven't heard that before, it's just an expression where it takes, momentum, buying pressure. It's almost as if, the bulls are they're being trapped, right? It's just the easiest way. They're being trapped into making higher highs. And so the structure is, we're making higher highs, we're making higher lows. The reversal is here. But what you're doing is you're forming this ascending wedge. Right? That's what you're doing now. And so what we've done here is, right, we've made lower high, lower high, lower high. And then what did we do? We came up here, we made a higher high. Made a higher high, and we made a higher high. That is good structure. That is good structure. So we're not doing this. This is bad. That's bad structure. We're not doing that. Let's go ahead and look at, let's get a bars pattern right through here. Let's get something like this. Okay, we can get rid of that. Let's do that. Let's get rid of that. And let's bring this over just a little bit. Okay, different structure, right? This is that March-April structure. Okay, where you kind of, right, there was still more of a grind, right? You kind of grind it up in this ascending wedge. But what did you do? You came down and took out lows. Okay, so, these lows right here were very good. Coming down, sweeping down through here at 62. That allowed us to sweep the lows, take out that leverage, and then build. So you came up through here, you built this wedge. You came down in 3. Okay, we didn't technically come down in 3. I mean, you came down in, you went down in 3, and you came up, and you went down in 3 again. So, it was corrective in nature, but I do like the fact that when you came up through here, you kind of went sideways a little bit. We didn't go sideways per se, right? It wasn't apples to apples, but we didn't grind up. So we came down and we oscillated down, and went up. We didn't do anything like this where you come up and you're doing this. That's not the greatest look. Sometimes Bitcoin likes to do that and keep going up, and it tricks people. But when you're forming a bottom, you don't really want to do that. So right now, price action looks healthy. We definitely need to just close above some of these levels. We can't just, you can't just break out, have some fun, do some good things, and then immediately fall on your face, right? Immediately fall on your face. So I hope I didn't delete a bunch of stuff that was important, but all good. So Bitcoin, it's the structure looks good. We're in this golden range, this golden pocket. It's part of my fibs, and this RSI actually does look good. I do like the RSI. Kind of tricked us on the MACD. MACD was kind of looking bearish, if we're being honest. So Bitcoin's looking good. We're going to look at some Ethereum as well. I actually entered an Ethereum, I entered an Ethereum trade, pardon me, and we're going to check that out as well. What up, Luna? What up? Can you look at Litecoin, please? Yes, I can. I will. Just give me a minute. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. We are, back above the 200 EMA. There's another big crypto that's back above the 200-week EMA, and it's going to get a lot of people excited, especially if you're part of the army. So that's kind of the, little sneak peek I'll give you. But right now you're above the 200 EMA. You still have a bunch of work to do, right? We've been thinking about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a while. Could even come up through here, come back up right up through here, this 90, 97 to 93. That would be pretty scary, right? That would be pretty scary, but then you can get up and get on your third, right? 1, 2, 3. I do believe at this point, I'm kind of leaning towards just a 3-wave move. That would, and if you do something like this and you reject, it would just confuse everybody, right? It would confuse everybody because you're coming up to previous areas of resistance, but you're forming inverse head and shoulders on the weekly. You'd be doing that. So people would, start buying like crazy right here. But in reality, you just have a 3-wave move, and then you could ultimately reject somewhere right through here and then start your real bear market. And we're talking about bear market. We're talking about taking out lows of lows. We're talking about long term. I mean, you can count this as a bear market. It's not really a bear market. It didn't take everything out. You didn't come out here and take out these lows. If you've been in altcoins, you've been in a bear market. You've taken out lows of previous lows of previous lows. So, but right now that's kind of what's going on for that in terms of Bitcoin. We're going to be checking out Ethereum. Always got to check out the big dogs. Always got to check out the big dogs. We're going to clean this up. All right, cool. So Ethereum, right? Been talking about Ethereum. The last 2 times when you came to this golden zone, it was a great time to buy. A great time to buy. And a great time to buy, question mark? I believe so. I believe so. That's why I entered it. That's why I entered into Ethereum, just because of the possibility of upside, right? So you got this idea that Ethereum is going to lead the alts. Ethereum is going to do this. Ethereum is going to do that. Okay, where are we? Are we above the 200 EMA? No, we are not. This is not the crypto that I was talking about that people are going to get excited about. But I will say, in terms of whether or not this is a good buy, Ethereum for me, when you're in that golden zone, when you're in the golden region, can it go lower? Sure, it can go it can go lower, right? It can go lower. But the risk to the upside is just too great to miss out on. Okay, even if you come up through here, all the way from 3,300 all the way up to 4,800. That's a great trade. That's a great trade in my opinion. And that's kind of how I position. That's kind of how I do things. Is buy low, sell high, but buying relatively timing the low is difficult. So having some buy orders layered in at price that I feel is undervalued. It is high value to enter. Right, high value to enter. So we're looking for something like that. You did get a little bit of that green on that RSI. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking good, but like we all know, crypto likes to do this where you look good on one day and then the next day you're just complete dog doo-doo. So we got to get some follow through. We gotta sustain some strength. XLM's looking good. We got to sustain some strength, right? Sustain some strength. XRP. This is the asset that is now above the 200-week EMA. There's this rivalry of XLM and XRP. I want XRP to go crazy. I don't own any XRP. I do believe that it's going to do great things. I believe XRP is going to do great things. Maybe not overall, like what it's going to be used for. I've already talked about the future of crypto and a couple of these cryptos that are going to be used by people that are in power and things of that nature. But we're not going to get into that today. That's going to be for Friday's live stream. We're going to be talking about a bunch of other stuff. Sorry, not live stream, but Patreon member stream. But XRP, you're above your 200-week EMA. You have a green dot on the weekly, right? Green dot on the weekly. The most oversold on the indicator you've been since down through here. Down through here, what'd you do? You ran up, right? Did you make new lows? No, but you double bottomed. You came back down, but you did run up from a low to a high, Let's see if I get this right. 222%. Right? Some people are looking for 10x's. Some people are looking for 20x's, 30x's, 40x's. Right? I can't see that for XRP, but I do think XRP is a solid asset. You've cleared out all your bearish divergence, all of your bearish momentum, everything. You've slowed bearish momentum, right? You got higher lows, and you have lower lows in price, right? Lower lows in price, higher lows in your MACD. You're bouncing off your oversold zone on your RSI. You're most oversold on this indicator right through here, the VMC. You have this bullish divergence coming in through here, those green lines. You had it right through here, and then you started. Okay, so there's reasons to believe that. Who's calling me? Spam? No, I'm not answering spam right now. Not answering spam. No. There's reasons to believe that we have that the low is in. There's reasons to believe the low is in. But until you break some key levels. So we're going to talk about some XRP key levels. Let's get these out of here real quick. The monthly open, I don't believe that's the monthly open. I actually believe the monthly open is down here. So you've already defeated the monthly open. Let's go. That is a great sign right there. We're going to delete this one. Okay. That's a great sign. Defeating the monthly open. That's step number one. If you're ever looking at an asset, here's just food for thought. If you're looking at an asset, if you're looking to invest in something, defeating the monthly open is step one to higher prices. And that means the monthly candle looks really good. It's up through here. That's pretty lousy right there. Pardon me. So that's really good. Okay, but the big price is going to be 180 coming up through here. I mean, you do have a sell side wall. I do like the fact, there's a large reason to believe that we're going to see a large inverse head and shoulders. I mean, what if this comes, you could have this, you can even have something like this, and then you come back down again, and then you go. All right, that could be a very large inverse head and shoulders that we're working on. You can have a mini inverse head and shoulders where you're working on something like this. All right, something like that, and then you go up. And then you go up, and then you come back down, take out those lows, and then you go up. Very, very, very interesting patterns playing out right here. Don't worry, Luna, I got you. I'm gonna check out Litecoin here in a minute. This XRP looks too good to pass up right now. XRP looks really good. PNG. I'll get into PNG after. Litecoin. All right, we're at Litecoin here. Litecoin is a very interesting chart. It looks very similar to AVAX. Very similar to AVAX. I mean, Litecoin here at this buy, this and AVAX have to be one of the best setups. So Luna, you're solid. This has to be one of the best setups. You're at the very bottom of your golden region. I mean, this came all the way down here. You didn't really make any new all-time high. Let's even see where you got. That looks like you got to a 382, maybe the 382. Sorry, not the 382. The 786, 886. 6919. I mean, nothing. You didn't get to anything, right? You didn't get to anything. You didn't even get to the 0.5. You didn't get to anything. So I gotta change these up a little bit, right? I mean, this is absolutely insane. When Litecoin and AVAX, I'm gonna pull up AVAX after this. I'm really bullish on AVAX and I'm really bullish on Litecoin. This has all been a correction all through here. It's all been a correction. I know it's hard to believe. But you almost have like your A wave through here. You got your this looks pretty ugly, but you have three waves up. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one wave coming down, and then you almost have like this last three wave. So you almost have your A, you have like a B, and then this has really just been a C. You have like your A wave down through here, your B wave up through here, and now you're coming down for your C wave of your C wave. Really, I mean, realistically, that's what I like to think about, because it's very similar to AVAX. Like, this is your C wave right through here, right? You have you have like your A, you have your B, so you have a 3 up, 3 down, and now you're coming down in 1, 2, A, B, C, 3, 4, 5, 5 down. Pretty solid, pretty good. You're down at extreme lows. I mean, even if you get back up to 110, even if you get back up to retracement levels, you're up that's a 100% move. Moves up to 265, 320. I heard someone say Litecoin is going to go to thousands of dollars. Thousands, ladies and gentlemen, thousands, like up through here, somewhere up. I'm not even kidding you, thousands. It's like $1,200, $1,500. I've seen it on YouTube. They're out there. Watch out for those people. They're just predatory, right? They just say random things. They try to get as many views as possible. That's scary, right? That's scary. You see prices like that, go check out, just go vet the person. Go check out other videos they made, or go check out other videos of Litecoin, and see what other people are saying. If we could get up to that 321 level, that'd be ideal. That'd be ideal. 321, right? Not even making new all-time highs. Not even making new all-time highs. That's where Litecoin is at right now, though. But this is a very large accumulation zone. Very large correction, very large accumulation. But 265 to 321, you can't say, thousands of dollars before you even get above this range right through here. That's your 382, your 236. Those are your retracement zones. So that's what I got for Litecoin. It is a pretty optimal area to get in at. Look at this thing. Wow. Yeah, Litecoin's about to go. Wow, and look at all that green through here too. Look at all that green through there. It happened before. A little bit right here, and look what we went through. A little bit right through here. A little bit, and what'd you go up? You went up 600%. A little bit right here, like tiny. You can't even see it, and you went up. Look how big this is. Look how long this is. This is from January 2026, just weeks on weeks on weeks. We're in March. I keep forgetting we're in March, but yeah. So Litecoin looks primed and ready. Litecoin looks primed and ready to run, ready to rock and roll. Not really any requests. So I do want to check out. AVAX looks so similar, right? AVAX looks very similar. You got a little bit higher on AVAX, but it still looks similar. Very similar. Very similar. I do want to check out PNG, right? Because I had Daniel reach out. So this is for the PNG crew. They've gone through the ringer, right? PNG has been just decimated. Don't want to do that. Wow. That's what you like to see, though. Just get out of town. Maybe you come back and backtest that. Maybe. All right, so we'll leave that there. But price action wise, right? Price action, we've had some key levels. We had this key level back from, the last time we made a PNG video was a long time. Very, very, very long time. Not super long. Let me check. PNG. Know these key levels. January 1st. January 1st right here. We made it right down here. Almost time to low. Almost like on this bounce. Almost time to low. Put up this 4528 level back there January 1st. Go check out the video. Right, I don't go back and tweak anything. I don't go back and cherry pick. This is what it is. I get calls right. I get calls wrong. That's what happens. But when they're right, they're right. And I've got evidence to go back it up. So we were talking about this key level for a long time. 4528. What'd you come up to? You came right up to what's the high? 4485. What is that? 0.15 plus 0.28. That's 0.38. But 0.000043 off. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. So right now PNG, you have the sell side wall. You have this one touch, two touch, three touch. Three touch. Closing right at it. So that's obviously a very large contention point. You came down and you touched the 20-day EMA. What is the market cap at? 7 million. Oh my gosh. I remember making PNG videos and it was at like 20 million, 18, 13, 11, 10. It's at 7 million. This thing's got to go or it's going to, pardon me, be in danger of just going to nothing. Right? But so, Daniel asked about PNG. So this is the key level. Okay, you need to really come up through here. You have this trend line, defeat this trend line. Really got to defeat the trend line, but really you beat 4528. 4528 and your next level is unlocked. 4528 your next level is unlocked. You start to get overextended, highly overextended on this indicator that I have. If you're interested in the indicator, it's my whole setup. I offer it through Patreon as well. Pardon me. Let me get a sip. Everything. It's all updated. Not mindless, but it helps you. All right, this is highly, highly oversold. Green is great to good value. Clear and transparent is no man's land / fair value, so higher stop losses. This pink area is overvalued, slightly overextended, highly overextended. Okay, so buying in gold, selling in red. That's the simplest way, right? Buying in gold, selling in red. Yeah, you can swing trade and you can sell up here, you can buy down here, you can sell, you can do all that. But the more trades you enter, the higher risk you have of losing. That's just the way it is. That's like the playing blackjack at a casino. The more hands you play, your variance increases, and you're gonna lose, right? You get in, you get out, you stay ahead. What up, Messi? How you doing, bro? Let's go. I checked out XRP. Did you want me to go back and loop back around XRP? It's got a. I know you're a big XRP guy. It's got some. XRP looks good, man. It has some good news going on with XRP for price action wise. But in terms of PNG, really got to close above this. Okay, close above this sell side wall, and then I would have 4528. I mean, if you're not really looking to sell down through here, just have 4528 marked. Like, okay, we broke this. Are we wicking up, or do we close a candle? Right? Are we wicking up, or do we actually come up through here and use it as a base, then go? All right, because it's been pretty. You got this formation going on. Maybe you come down, then go. Right, something like that. So that's what I would think is going on with PNG. I mean, look how close that is. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You had that green dot. Look at this green. Whew. This has been. I mean, I know if you've been watching, Litecoin had a large area of green, but this is from November of 2025. Wow, it's been trying to flip bullish for. What is that? December, January, February, March. 4 months. 4 months it's been selling off and trying to flip bullish. Selling off so this has been forcefully. So someone is shorting this with the purpose of getting it down to prices to new lows to get people out. Someone is, a big entity is definitely doing this. This isn't retail doing this. This is probably a bank. This is probably a competitor. Someone is really, really taking it out on PNG. And they're finally saying, you know what, we've hit, we're exhausted on selling. I mean, you almost took out your. See, this is a bear market, right? Bitcoin hasn't hit this, where you take out previous lows. I mean, this pretty much took out previous lows. That'd be like Bitcoin coming. That would be so something like this would be like Bitcoin coming all the way down and taking out 14,000, or coming down to 14,000. That's like a bear market, right? Coming up. Right, in 3 waves, and then coming down all the way down to like 14,000, 20,000. To me, that's a bear market. Right, Bitcoin is still up and to the right. So, but yeah, so that's PNG, and then Cookie. I've been talking about Cookie. What about ARK? There's a lot of stuff going on. I kind of want to check out some of my traditional stocks. MSTR. That's going to run coincidentally with Bitcoin. Archer Aviation. Are any of these showing a green dot on Archer Aviation? Still kind of still below your 200, but Archer Aviation. I like this. This is one of my high play traditional stocks. They're based out in Georgia. They are a company that builds and is attempting to patent a electric air transportation. So that's pretty interesting to me. I think they base like helicopters. That's what they started with. I don't know what they've done, if they've moved, or if they've gone on to other prototypes. But I think helicopters was their big thing. AI through here, C3 AI. I think AI is always a great play. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's like Amazon or Google. This thing has been sold off into oblivion. It's down in a golden region. A little bit higher risk, right? It's still a $1.27 billion asset. But its role as a defense contractor, $500 million deal with the Missile Defense Agency for AI missile threat modeling. See, especially with war, we're seeing how productive AI can be in war. So the Department of Defense, or whatever, Department of War, as they say now, is going to, they're just going to be investing in AI. NFE, I was pretty high on NFE. What about green? Anything going on here? ASST, it's a crypto affiliated stock. BTOG, look at that. That's a winner. That's a Bitcoin mining stock. Oh, it's breaking out. Look at that. BTOG. Let's look at this real quick. This might be an interesting play. Wow, look at that. Wow, this thing has gotten hammered down. What the? 4.45 million. This is a super high risk, high reward play. BTOG. Shoot, even to get to previous areas of resistance is $18. What is that? That's 600%. That's crazy. That's crazy. We're trying to get above. I had this marked out for a while. 314. Close above 314. BTOG might be a nice play through here. That 2-week green dot on the 2-week. Last time that happened, it went crazy. Last time it happened, it went crazy. BTOG might be a fun little play. It's pretty risky. It's, like I said, a $4 million stock. It's kind of risky, especially up 30%. I'm not a big fan of getting into assets that are up that much, but it could definitely lead to something big. Silver. We're going to talk about some silver and gold. Snapchat, but SoundHound AI. This is another AI project that I'm really big on. I'm really big on AI sound. I actually got into sound down through here. I was accumulating it through here. Got out and kind of just been waiting because we've been in ABC. I really thought we were going to come down through here and take out some lows. That's why I didn't enter yet. I haven't entered yet. I thought we were going to come down and take out these lows. Come down through here, back test maybe this $5 to $5.50 range. But I think SoundHound AI. It's a larger market cap. They've proven to be good. They've proven to be good. You're still above your 200 EMA on your daily charts. Down in this golden region, got that green dot on the buy. It just kind of looks, the RSI kind of looks like it's still fluttering, right? Still struggling to get above this 55 level. Last time you rejected through here, you went through and dropped down 42%. Maybe we don't do that. That would be brutal. That would take you actually pretty close to $5, all right? Like that 42. Yeah, look at that. That's part of the trades, right? So I talked about that this last time. I talked about that on, I think I talked about it on my Friday Patreon membership. So you guys are going to get a golden nugget from me. Okay. I think trading, investing, things like that is more about limiting your losses than securing wins. It's almost, to me, if you play football, maybe you play basketball, hockey, soccer, or football over in Europe, turnovers, right? Turning the ball over, giving the ball away, making mental mistakes, and giving the ball away to your opponent so your opponent can do, that your opponent has more opportunities to seize a victory. To me, that's very similar to trading. When you're making mental mistakes and you're committing turnovers, so to speak, in the financial world, the trading world, and you're not setting stop losses, or you're not taking you're not setting early take profits, and you're not paying yourself for going through all the BS that we know crypto and just trading takes, right? Trading is a bunch of BS for the most part. If you're not staying mentally disciplined and you're not staying structured, you're gonna commit turnovers and you're gonna beat yourself. Right? Just staying out of your own way, making sure you stick to a plan. It's really hard to sell. For me, it's really hard to sell. It's easy to buy. So, but right now I'm not buying Sound. I know it looks good. It has the green dot. It looks good, but overall I still think that it's going to take out some lows, right? Take out some lows. If we are looking at this, let's check this out. We marked that $5 range, right? That's kind of what we thought. Did I have anything marked on here? I didn't. Okay. I didn't. You got this 1, 2. So if this is a third wave, someone up through here, 597, that would be a good starting point. So 597, look for 597, and we'll play around a little bit. All right, we'll play around a little bit, just a little bit. Gotta have some fun. Gotta have fun when you're doing stuff. I don't like that. I do not like dot one. What about coming up through here, down through here? 409. Not a big fan. So let's do this actually. Let's do this. Let's invert this real quick. I just want to check this out. Okay. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. There we go. It's kind of what we were talking about, that 518 range, somewhere like that. And then I would do something like this, 786. Bada bing, bada boom. It's exactly what I'd do. And then I'd come into the daily. And look at that. All right, down, something like that. Okay, so I would look for price action and possibly come down through here a little bit, come down a little bit more, come down, take out some of these lows. All right, take out these lows. I don't think you come down all the way down through here and not take out lows. Because if people entered through here and they didn't get out, they're still in. And market makers don't like people when they're in. All right, if you come up through here, you can come down and then you can come up and reject 15. Have a really complex correction going on. All right, have a real complex correction going on. So that's something that I'd keep an eye out for Sound. I do like Sound. I think it's a good project. I think it can do some important stuff moving forward. Gold and silver, silver and gold. You got triple bearish divergence. Well, not triple, but you got some bearish divergence on the weekly. If you guys don't know, so bearish divergence on the weekly, so you got lower highs on the RSI and you have higher highs on price. Okay, so you're losing strength while your price is going up. So buyers are getting exhausted. Buyers are getting exhausted buying the top. Especially if you bought like 126. I don't think you're seeing 120s for a while. I've been talking about silver coming down to this correction zone, to this 50 to 44 range for a while. And I think silver and gold are about to hit a correction. I really do. I really, really, really do. You're losing all your bullish momentum. You're down here. You're sold off. You had that red dot right through here, so that would have saved you. Even if you got out right here at $84, right, you could have saved some money. Bought back down at 64, but that's neither here nor there. We've had this ascending wedge for a while. We've talked about it in the Discord. So if you're interested in the free Discord, it's free, no attachments, nothing like that. We talk about charts, right? Bearish, bullish, neutrals, all that stuff. So, to me, silver has been overextended for a while. And now what you got is you got this bear flag, and now it's pretty obvious that you're trying to come down through here and boop, boop. To me, it's pretty obvious, right? To me, it's pretty obvious. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. You're finding support at your 20-week EMA. Your 20-day EMA. And so if we do see something like this actually play out, where can we see price go? That's pretty low, man. That's pretty low. I don't think it's going that low. Maybe to your 618, all the way to your 786. To the one extension, I don't think the run is over that bad. I don't think it's over that bad. But I'd expect something down through here. 59 all the way down to 49, something like that. 618, 786. That would be brutal, though. If you bought it at $120 and you're down at $40-something for silver, that'd be bad. That's why I was getting out. I didn't time the top. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So, but silver's looking like it kind of wants to continue the downtrend, right? Silver kind of does look like it wants to continue the downtrend. Can it work? There we go. What about the 10-day? Yep, 10-day got a sell side. What is this? Is this from visibility? 1 day. Let's keep this off the 10-day. We don't need that on the 10-day. We got that red dot on the 10-day. Bearish divergence. So even on the 10-day, you have bearish divergence. So looking like it wants to correct down and shatter some people's dreams and hopes that it's going to go to $500 or whatever. I've seen crazy price targets for silver and gold as well. Like too crazy. Like too freaking crazy. Whoa. Let's do that. Let's get that back. Let's get that back to normal. RSI looks extremely weak. Extremely weak. You're going straight sideways as you're going up. So, just bearish price action. We had this ascending wedge, so we were looking for a short, to enter a short right around through here. And I talked about it on my lives. I've talked about it on my Patreon. I've talked about it multiple times. It's not something that's new. It's not something that's out of nowhere. Right? I do believe that gold is going to correct down through this region, down through here. This 41 all the way up to 45. Could be even more, right? I do think you're taking out these lows at 40, 44. I really do. I think you'll take out these lows, right? Because you're like in this 1, 2. I think this next correction is going to be a fairly large correction. I do. I think gold and silver, they've been a safe haven for quite some time, and I do think the time is coming where a lot of people are just thinking that it can't come down like risk on assets do, but I think it will. I really do. I think it will. So in terms of that, that's what we got for that. And then I kind of want to touch on the stablecoin dominant situation we got going on. We're going to clear this up. Perfect. Okay, so stablecoin dominance. This thing has been the bane of our existence for a very long time. You're finally breaking down, but I do want to check this out on the weekly. Finally breaking down. You're so far. I mean, it's crazy to say, but it still can find support right here at, what is this at? I think it's like 6.662, 661. All right, it can find support down through here. Stablecoin dominance, if you guys don't know, it's inversely correlated with Bitcoin, crypto in general. As this goes up, crypto goes down. As this goes down, crypto goes up. It's been going up. This is on the weekly chart, so it's been going up since December 2024. All right, made new highs, higher lows, higher highs, 3 drives to the high. Okay, so it's made some progress to the upside. You're in the highly oversold region. You have this red dot on the weekly chart. You're crossing down below your moving average on your RSI. You're losing bullish momentum. I think this thing is set up for a correction. Does it go higher right after this? It could. You have a red dot on the 2-week chart. So what it do? It went down for, it was going down for 2 weeks before that, and then it printed that red dot. So we're looking for something. We're looking for a big correction. Okay, you're up in this oversold region. You got this red dot. Now you're back over the you're out of the oversold region. The last time you were this high and had a red dot was up through here, and that was January 2023. January 2023, and then you just absolutely tanked. That's good to see, though. We want to see red dots up here. That's what we want to see. We want to see people, not people. It's the banks. It's the institutions. Right now, it's the banks. I don't know if you've heard about the Clarity Act, but I guess banks. I mean, even the president called out the banks and saying, "Hey, stop being corrupt. Stop being corrupt. Stop dragging your feet and ruining what is going on." So, you got the idea that the current administration actually wants some crypto movement because it'll make him look good, right? He backed the crypto crowd by saying he's a pro crypto president, but crypto price hasn't really reflected that. So he's kind of like, what, we need to make sure that crypto price can reflect my rhetoric so I don't look like a hypocrite. Okay, so this looks very good. Hey bro, glad. What up, Absurd? Hey, appreciate you stopping by. Did you have anything you wanted me to check out? Drop it in the charts. I'm kind of just checking some charts out, not just crypto, stocks, all that good stuff. So, man, my DJT, I re-entered down through here. I'm just about even right now. So that would be nice. That would be nice to get going. That'd be really nice to get going on DJT. This is a crypto affiliated stock because these guys, they buy Kronos, they buy Crow, they buy I think Ethereum and Bitcoin. So this is one of my big plays right through here too. I mean, you're down at lows. You can't be that bearish when you're down at lows. Just lows down through here. I'm expecting prices to get up to at least $28 to $30. That's up through here. 28 right through here, 28 to 30. So that'd be a nice little trade. I'll take profits, of course, along the way. I can't be a hypocrite and not take profits. That's what I preach. Profits never hurt the pockets. So, he also did rug pulled us with the meme. Yeah, straight up, he did. Yeah, he did. He rug pulled a lot of people with that meme. With that meme coin, the Trump meme coin and the Millennium. I mean, that thing is down. See, that's a bad one because it's down like 98%, 97%. So people who bought the tops they're not coming back to crypto, right? If you bought the tops, you're not coming back to crypto because you got scammed. It's an absolute scam. It's a shit show. So I do think he needs to save face a little bit and make sure that crypto actually does something well, right? Not just absolutely tank. I did want to check out Total 3 versus Bitcoin on the monthly chart. Wow, you came all the way back down. Look at that. That's brutal. That is brutal. We had this marked out where we were looking to come up through here, come up, defeat this. We closed above it, and you've closed all the way back down. That is brutal. That's not great. And that doesn't mean altcoins are going to, do fairly bad. What it does mean, though, is Bitcoin is going to take the lead, and it's taking a lot of the thunder out of everything, which is to be expected. But to see this, dang, that's bad. That's just rough. Big correction. Maybe we see something. We need Ethereum to start going crazy. But, yeah, we had this 10.56 marked out. Couldn't hold it. That's disappointing. Right? That is disappointing. Right? We were trying to hold 10.21. That was kind of that neckline. I mean, month just started. Right, a month just started. It is a wickless candle, but it is a comparative chart, so wickless candles are they're pretty common. They're pretty common. To the downside only. Do we have any? Let's see how common it is. Okay. No, we're looking for a wickless to the upside. Okay, you got one right here. So you do have one right through here. And this is the monthly chart too. So this is fairly important. You got one right here. It was towards the bottom, wasn't towards a correction, and then you did rip. So you've had two. So you had that one right there. Maybe I'm missing some. And you had one right here. That's disappointing, right? Because oh wait. Sorry, I am messed up. I'm looking for wickless candles to the downside. That's what I'm looking for. So you got one. That's a wick. That doesn't mean much. You can just move up a little bit, and you're not gonna come back up there and close above 10.21. I'm trying to look. Maybe if you guys point it out, if you guys can see one, let me know. I'm blind as a bat without sonar. I don't see any. Right? I don't see any. So I do think then we'll see some reverse side action. That's just kind of disappointing. What about others versus Bitcoin? This one probably not doing too well either. It's coming back and back testing. That looks better. That looks way better. And it's others versus Bitcoin. That means the XRPs of the world, the XLMs, the chain links, those are doing better relative to what Ethereum is holding up and bringing to the table. Ethereum dominance. Okay. I mean, you get so many mixed signals, right? You got Ethereum dominance, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. You got green dots. This does look like it's kind of stalling out, though. This does look like it's stalling out. Ethereum dominance looks like it's stalling out. Man, I really want Ethereum to do well. I entered that trade, so I'm pulling for Ethereum now. This chart does look bullish. I mean, when we look at this chart, you're in this golden region. You're looking like a cup and handle. Got a cup, kind of got like a handle coming down, oscillating down. That's what you like to see. Oscillate down. Take your time. But before we can even think about anything, we got this big resistance that we're coming up on. So that is something to keep your eye out on. XRP versus Bitcoin. Boom, bouncing right on this channel once again. It looks like it wants to, by July, that's a while from now. It really can go sideways until then. But you got this impulse. This is a bullish triangle. And when you come up and you impulse, so you got one, you got two. We're going to count this as two because it definitely hit the lows. So we got 2 and 2. We got 3. So the next move for XRP should be breaking out. It should be on the 4th. You typically break out on the 4th. All right, you typically break out on the 4th. So maybe, what is today? Wednesday. We've had a date for stablecoin dominance to break down, Bitcoin dominance to break down. There's one more. I'm blanking. I think it's, from what I remember, it's like this week. It's the 24th, 23rd. It's like somewhere through here, which would make sense, right? If you kind of come up a little bit, come back down, and then go. Don't touch, right? Don't touch, but you got to have some kind of impulse. Actually, you had this impulse. You can just impulse out of here. You really could. And then, so actually that would be the best ideal. So you kind of, maybe a little candle, and then impulse, and then flag out, come back, and then go. But XRP, this thing looks, I don't know how you can be bullish. This chart looks so good. XRP versus Bitcoin, XLM versus Bitcoin looks freaking phenomenal. IOTA, I'll check out IOTA for sure. I got you, bro. You got to be a little bit more conservative. We're just going to put this right there like that. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. Cool. XLM looks great. I know it has a red dot, but I don't even care. I don't care. This MACD, it's going sideways as you're going down. That's bullish. It's bullish. You're getting slammed down, and your MACD is like, you know what? Nothing's really going on. Right? It's bullish. You're just going straight sideways, straight accumulation. What'd you do through here? Straight sideways, straight accumulation. All right? So, bullish. Big time bullish on XLM, XRP. I know I'm not a hater on XRP. It's crazy. People think I'm crazy for not hating on XRP. I've gotten comments about it before. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Buttcoin. I have someone in the Discord who's a big Buttcoin holder. We called this thing perfectly too. But I do think it's in a corrective phase. IOTA. I don't even think I have IOTA on here. That's crazy. IOTA? IOTA Tether. Do you prefer an exchange? Doesn't really matter. I just want to make sure I have the right chart. $0.10 average? Dude, you have a better average than me. That's a great average, dude. That's a beautiful average. Yeah, that's beautiful. That is great. IOTA. I think I'm just gonna use I just don't like Binance, but maybe I'll just use Binance. Any exchange is fine. All right, let's check out this. That's a great average, man. You are blessed. XLM is gonna do some great things, man. IOTA. Maybe I did look at IOTA. Did I look at IOTA? No, this can't be me. Maybe it is me. I can't even remember. On the weekly chart, maybe? No, I didn't do this. Yes, I did do this. Wow, I looked at IOTA a while ago. I must have looked at it a long time ago, and I can't even remember. Wow, look at this thing. This is a bear market, right? Bitcoin hasn't done this before. Geez, what does IOTA even do? What does IOTA do? I'm just gonna look it up, see what IOTA. Um, oh, it's affiliated with DAG. Okay. Traditional blockchain line feels Internet of Things. Okay. Instead of miners, each new transaction must validate two previous ones, creating a web where the network gets faster and more parallel processing and high transactions. No blocks, no miners. It's a validation process. Feeless transactions. Well, the banks don't like this, that's for sure. Um, okay. So it's not on a blockchain. There's no fees. There's no miners. So how's it created then? Use case centers on Internet Things with this feeless, scalable, tangible work and microtransactions. I'm not sure. I got an IOTA due to being ISO 2020 but not farm. I'm probably 50% on my average entry. Well, if you're 50% down on your average entry, that means you got in at 12 cents. All right, you got in at 12 cents. You're still don't feel bad. Let me see. Did I just get a yeah, don't feel bad. 50% on something like this where it's down. I like to think of it like this. All right, you got to think of it like this. All right, we're gonna take that out for sure. Okay, we're not even gonna use this high because that's absolutely irrelevant. But just from this high, you bought something down 80%. That's like going to the store buying a TV that's $1,000 and you get it for $200. Okay, the next week you go to the store and instead of for $200, it's selling for $100. You can't be that pissed that you didn't get the $100 deal, but you still got a really good deal. That's the way you got to look at it. Because if you look at it the way that you're down 50%, it'll eat away at you, right? It'll eat away at you. You'll start second guessing your decisions. Okay, you're down in a golden zone. Even if you come up to a good fair value at 60 cents, it's still a good return on investment. Okay, so overall, don't get too down on yourself. This looks very beautiful though. This down through here, this looks very beautiful, and how you've just slowly, it's like you're almost drizzling. We're gonna throw a little trend line on through here. I'm not gonna use this trend line. I'm gonna use this trend line right through there off the 200. I kind of want to get this rejection too. Bada bing, right there. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. We're looking to get above the sell side wall. I gotta redo all of this stuff. It almost looks. Here, 1618 is right there. I'm gonna change this out to red. 5 cents. That's probably the lowest it could go. Probably the lowest it could go. And then something through here. This next move, we're looking to get really looking to get above this 382. Is that anything? Yeah, that looks pretty good. We'll add one more through here. Something like this, right? You got to have your 786 or your 618. Probably your 618. Yeah, your 618. Okay. 2 levels. All right, 2 areas of resistance. Something like that. You get through there. You get through here, and you're looking for some higher price action. Because you can always come up through here, come back down, and then go. A lot of cryptos look like that. This is on the weekly, right? A lot of cryptos look. It almost looks like you've cuffed into resistance. You're coming down. You need to cut back into resistance, find your base and support, and then go. So something like that where you have some kind of structure. I know it's at the lows. It's hard to be bullish at lows, but this is when I'm the most bullish. Something like this makes me actually really want to get into something like this type of crypto, because you're buying down through here, and even if you get up to this trend line, you're looking at a 50% move. That's pretty much where your entry's at anyways. I got a message on the Discord. one of One of my Discord members talking about Bitcoin getting up to 71,000. Um, Gotta give him some love. There we go. So, but yeah, it looks yeah, there's some strong possibilities in terms of the indicators, right? Wow, you got wow. Wait, this changes everything. This changes everything. This RSI looks freaking phenomenal. This thing looks bullish, man. This thing looks bullish. You came up, and then now you just kind of been going sideways. And in this channel, you break above this channel, price is gonna go freaking crazy. If it can get above this channel on this RSI, oh, that's nice. That's nice. What about the 10-day? 10-day, got a buy signal back on that 10-day. About to cross. Last time you crossed down through here, you saw some magnificent moves. IOTA is looking good. It's looking good. It could, you know, I mean, doesn't mean you have to go crazy right now. I mean, you got that green dot. Look at that. You got that green on the MACD. You about to cross. Got the green on the MACD. You crossed. Doesn't mean you're going to go to, 25 cents. No. But you can attempt up through here. It's a lot of resistance. That's why I think you do something like this. It's because it's just a lot of resistance to come up through here, trickle down, then go. Because if you do try to get through here, it's going to be a really hard rejection. Your 50 is right past all that resistance. You try to get up through here in one move and you reject up here, that's no bueno. That's no good. You want to come up through here, maybe make a higher, maybe close higher. But still, you want to just make higher lows. So you come up through here, make a higher low, and go. Something like that. Like a slingshot. You know what I mean? So, but that's what I got for IOTA. Bitcoin is still doing good. What is this 4 hour at? Is this 4 hour going to close anytime soon? Yeah, we did the 68 for a while. 4 hour candle. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Wow, it's overbought. Ooh. That's good. That's good. It didn't get rejected off the overbought zone. That's freaking good. Now let's stay up here. All right, gotta stay up here. You can't just get out now. Wow, it looks good. It's not. There's not a wick to the upside yet. I'm just talking about that. Not a wick yet. A wickless candle to the upside. That's a strong candle. That's a very strong candle. You got a 10-day buy. Look at that. Boom. That's beautiful. On the 10-day buy, this RSI is, I think, it's too hard to be bullish on crypto because you just know it's gonna crap in your face right when you get bullish. So it's hard to stay bullish and to, remain level-headed, shall I say. This last chart I'm going to check out, if there isn't any requests, is going to be stablecoin dominance plus Bitcoin dominance. So we want this to drop because this is indicating that stablecoins, I got to clear this up. Stablecoins are, gosh dang, that's a lot. There we go. Tried getting into the Discord, but I can't. But I get invalid invite. Ooh. Maybe I've messed up and I've changed the. What? I wonder. What link are you using? I'd appreciate you letting me know what link you're using so I can update that, because that'd be pretty poor on my end to leave out an invalid link. What's your analysis on Pengu? Thoughts would be appreciated. I got you, Carlos. Trying to figure out some Discord stuff. I definitely don't want people not able to join the Discord. That's no bueno. No bueno. No bueno. Here, let me see. Never expires. I wonder. The one in the description. Okay. I gotta change that out then. I definitely gotta change that out. Alright. Well, this should work. I gotta change that out. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't even know that. That one should work. I'll change that out immediately. Okay, let me check out. So I'll get into Pengu right after this. This chart right through here, highly oversold, highly overextended. What about the 2-week? Still waiting for that big 2-week mark. 10-day, still not on a 10-day. It's probably because Bitcoin dominance is holding this chart up. But overall, it still looks pretty bearish. Pretty bearish. Pretty bearish. Yeah, really, I mean, this 66%, so it's not really, it doesn't look like it's ready, because I think Bitcoin dominance is about to probably skyrocket, especially if Bitcoin starts going crazy. Let me see. Buttcoin, man, Juicy is going to be loving this in the Discord. Juicy is going to love Buttcoin. I just can't get behind some of these cryptos. It's just, Buttcoin, I can't realistically think about investing in something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Pengu. Let's check out some Pengu. Do I have anything on here? On the weekly. Wow, this thing. I haven't checked out Pengu in a long time. We're gonna leave one of these for sure. Just turns into resistance. And this has to change because there's 786 is based off something different. And this has to change because you broke out of it and did nothing. Do we want to keep it like that? No, we do not. We do not. All right. I'm going to just do that for you. Just like that. All right, Pengu. I mean, this does look good as a base. For sure. I do want to see this. No, I don't want that. I'm going to zoom in first, and then I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to zoom in, then zoom out. Maybe I can get a trend line, get an idea down through here. So, this thing came all the way down and took out lows. Wow, it did. It came all the way down and pretty much bounced right off of here. Did it bounce right off this first wave? This is what I'm talking about for a bear market. This is pretty damn low. I think it did. I think it came all the way down here. It did. Wow, that's insane. That's insane. See, that's a bear market. That would take Bitcoin down to like $10,000 if Bitcoin did something like Pengu just did. So, what I think about Pengu right now, Pengu does look, all right, this looks like an A wave. All right, that looks like an A wave. We're going to get rid of this up here because we're going to change this out to the 382. I wouldn't look for Pengu to make new all-time highs. I would not. Not right now, because it took out it took everything out. It took this entire wave out, this wave. And so, for me, if I'm looking at Pengu, I mean, even just from here to here at this point, 382s, we're gonna map this out. This is where I'm looking for Pengu. Like new all-time highs. I don't think like these prices. I think are off the table now. They're off the table because you just invalidated your structure, right? Nope, don't do that. Pengu, your 382s right through there. That's a big resistance level. And then what about right through here? 319. That's 618. 786. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, we're gonna move this guy somewhere. Maybe down through here. That's exactly where I would look. for Pengu for some resistance levels. It's already above it. Wow, it's already above it. It's already above it. You really want to get above your 382 on assets. So, what are we looking at through here? What are we looking at? Right there. Bada bing. And then, so at this point, Pengu, right, Carlos, at this point, I got you, bro. No worries. So you got higher lows. I got some higher lows. And one thing that I do like is you came up through here in a three-way move. You came down in 5, and then you impulsed, and you're kind of oscillating now. You didn't come back down, and you didn't come up in 3. Right? You didn't go up in 3, down in 5, up in 3. That would look bad. That would look like a bearish channel. Okay, so you came down through here, you came up, and then you went sideways, which is good. That's what you want to do. Get a base. I would have liked it to go a little bit longer, if I'm being honest. A lot of these cryptos, because what happens is if you come up through here and you reject this area, you're going to get new lows. So if I'm a Pengu holder, I'm 710 is a big line in the sand. But you break that, you're coming up to this 12265 region. 12265 region. And so right, that's a big area. Big area. What about? I do want to check this out. Something like this. Bingo. Yeah, that's what I got for Pengu, right? I mean, on the daily, it looks good. On the daily, right, you're making higher highs. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, now you have to. So here's the big thing for Pengu. Okay, good thing we came into the daily. Pengu now has to close above. It has to get up here now. 7897 has to get above 7897. I'm actually going to put this right through here. 7897. Pengu has to get above that. If it doesn't, what happens is you're going to have a higher high in RSI and you're going to have a lower high in price. And that's bad. That's bearish divergence. That means this whole thing through here is just going to, boom, reject down and clear out a bunch of people who are entering longs, right? Leverage longs. So, right, if I'm a Pengu holder, I'm looking for 7897 to be taken. Right, come up through here and then come down, and then you can start going. But until you get a nice decisive close above 3 cents, I would expect maybe a 3-wave move to come up, and then you have to correct back down. So 3 cents is kind of what I'm targeting. If you're down here, even if you're, let's say you're at 0.102, that's 140%. A lot of these cryptos, just similar to DGen, your B-wave retracement is kind of the area where I would look to de-risk personally, right? I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but for me, I would just look to take some profits off the table. It's a high-risk area. Down here, I'm not too worried. It's not too risky down here. Up through here, though, pretty risky, pretty scary, because if you get rejected up here, then you're looking at, you can make even new lows, right? Really drag out, really trap people, right? Really get people excited up through here, and then boom, then they get absolutely destroyed. You plan on buying any BTC for next cycle? I'm waiting to pull the trigger on anything below 50K. I am going to go I might buy some Bitcoin. If I can offload some of my other assets, I might get into a Bitcoin. But I'm really big on XLM. I'm really big on XLM for future, and then Ethereum. Right, I think Ethereum has underperformed so vastly. I think Ethereum's underperformed, and I think AVAX is going to do great in Chainlink. For me, Bitcoin, it's just, if Bitcoin hits, right, if I'm not going to get into Bitcoin If Bitcoin comes up through here and makes, a lower high in a three-wave move, I'm going to wait for Bitcoin to come down to the 30s and maybe even down through here and actually have like a real bear market. Like a real bear market. That's where I'd get Bitcoin at. Taking out lows, right? You got to take out this low. You got to take out this low. Possibly need to take out this low down here at 18,000. For an actual bear market, for an actual, you've ran up this entire cycle, and then you come up in 3, then you come back down. All right? Then you restart. Then you restart everything. Then you start from like over here. Right? Because this whole thing has been the bull market. I know it's hard to think, but coming back down and back testing 20,000 is realistic. It's got, like a 1, 2, almost have like a 3, 4, 5. Just by looking at it quick, kind of being lazy about it. But that's what I'm looking at for a bear market. Yeah, I would sell everything. I would sell a lot. And I do think a reset is going to come, right? When, banks and institutions are selling up through here. Unless this is why Bitcoin is so difficult right now. This is why it's so difficult. And I'm admitting that it's difficult. Some people think they can see the future and they know it's going to happen. If Bitcoin comes up in 3 waves and does something like this, that's when it gets scary, because what you've done is you've formed like a head and shoulders pattern, right? But also you can be forming a very large 3-wave move to then break out and take all-time highs and come up to here to this 180, 170, 180 range. That's why for me, Bitcoin, I think, is the highest risk, highest reward. Not highest reward, sorry. One of the higher risk plays right now is because you've been going up for so long. Yes, you're in a very large correction, but this could just be the A wave, right? You can come up for a B, you can come down for a C, but also you can have an extended version where this is, you have your 1, 2, you have your A, B, C, 3. For your 4th wave, you have your A, B, C for a flat, right? For an expanded flat, you have a higher B wave, okay? Then you have a lower C wave, okay? You have a higher B wave. Now it'd be a flat pattern that would destroy everybody, because everyone is going to come up here. They're going to short the market. It's going to come down through here, and then boom, just decapitate everybody. No one's going to be in, just the market makers. They're going to have all the bags packed up. It's going to break up through here. It's going to go to some crazy prices, and people are going to be absolutely blown away. But if it does come down to 20K, yeah, I'm selling my car. Selling my kidney. Like, isn't that what Michael Saylor said to do? Sell your kidney. So, but that's what I got for now. It looks good today. It's a green candle. It's green today, but let's not forget we've seen green before, followed by just weeks of red. All right, we can't get too excited. We have some key levels to defeat. Bitcoin has some key levels to defeat. So I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for letting me know about the Discord code. I'm going to update those. What video was it on? If you don't mind me asking for the to join. So I can figure it out. Because I did make a new code. I don't know if old codes work, but I guess I got to update all my codes. I got to update them all. But that would be great, because I need to figure it out. Oh, on this one. Okay. Cool. I appreciate it. All right, dude. Thank you for everyone for stopping by. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. Questions or concerns, hop in the free Discord. We talk about charts, talk about things like that. Have a great rest of your week. I'll drop a deep dive tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace.